In this video, I want to go over the syllabus. Obviously, the syllabus is important, and it's typically what we would cover the first day in class. So the syllabus for our course can be accessed here on the side here in our course, pretty much at the beginning. You'll see this document, and then I'll be uploading the video as well right here. So let's talk about it. And to make life easier, I'm just going to open it in a new window. Or maybe I'll just download it that way. That's okay. Okay, so let's talk about it. So, as some of you already know, my office is in the E building. And the easiest way to contact me is by email. You can call me on the phone. Emails are the easiest way to contact me, especially since I'm usually working later in the evening and not typically during the day. So with that said, I don't really list any office hours because not a lot of people come, and then it's just really wasted time. So if you want to meet with me, either virtually or physically, then send me an email, and we'll figure it out. Okay, so we have our description of the course that's just given to me. It was written long ago, and it's pretty poorly written in my opinion. So then what I describe here is what I think we will cover, what I try to cover, what I aim to cover. And in an online class especially, I don't tend to fall behind too much because, I don't have to talk on and on about things. It just kind of sorts itself out. Um, Here are our learning outcomes. Again, I'm assuming you can all read, so you don't need, I'm not going to read all of these to you. But this is what this course aims to do, is structured to do. Let's talk about the things that you would care more about. How is your grade determined? So let's talk about that. There are going to be assignments. These assignments will be done in La Lima. There are going to be something called flip grid reflections. That will be, you'll be making some short video responses. Those will be worth 15%. And then the exams, they increase in weight from 28 to 25, and the third exam is 30%, and that's because it is comprehensive. This course makes use of a free textbook. If you click on that link, you'll see the online version of the book. In the La Lima site, you'll see that I've made it into PDFs. You do not need to buy any book for this course. And as I said, we'll be using La Lima, so you really should not have to be spending any money for this course. Here are the dates. You can drop this class up until the 1st of September and get all your money back. 15th of September, you'll get half your money back, and by November 2nd, at least they'll let you withdraw from the course. So now we have all of the kind of required statements. Let me just kind of, again, I'm presuming you can all read. You don't need me to read to you, but for instance, if you have a disability of some kind and you need accommodation, then you'll need to talk to Tom Herzberner, who then reaches out to me to tell me what I need to do. You should do that soon if you know that you have, if that applies to you, so that it comes in time for the exams and whatnot. We at the university do not discriminate, and that applies to any number of categories. And you can read that policy here. There's a code of conduct. You can read that. I guess one I care a little bit more about is be honest, be truthful. And that's especially so when it's an online class and it may not seem like anyone's watching you. If anything, I'm able to watch more of what you do when you're online than when you're not. And by that I mean, in terms of the work that you're doing on La Lima, and obviously we would all be communicating with each other by email. So obviously things like that are recorded. Um, just be honest in what you do. I know it becomes really easy, especially when there's a tight deadline, to cut corners and not follow this. But I've been teaching now for 15 years. I generally will identify if someone has done it, and if you have, it's my job only to identify that you did do it, and then just kind of let others handle it. And it's an unfortunate situation, and it happens to generally at least one person every semester. Um, don't let it happen to you. That's really just the easiest way to say it. Just don't let it happen to you. Here's our grading scale that's given to us by the university. And then I give you kind of a sample way to calculate your actual grade based on the scores that you're given. Now, the schedule for this course, because this is an online class, I want you to have freedom. I want you to have freedom to work ahead, and I also don't want you to fall too far behind. So, with that said, I basically split up the course into 3 parts. The 3 biggest deadlines are September 25th, October 23rd, and December 4th. Put those in your phone. Those are the 3 most important deadlines. If you miss even just one of those deadlines for all of the things that are due on those 3 dates, you probably will fail this course. So it's not like just missing one thing. The stakes are pretty high for each of these 3 dates, and the goal is that you're slowly working over the course of the weeks to complete the materials in each of these 3 parts of the course. Now you can work ahead. There's typically at least one person every semester who finishes up the whole course in a month, and that's totally fine. That's totally cool. You do not get downgraded for doing that. But basically, in part 1 of this course, which will be due in about a month from now, we'll be covering 3 topics. So for each of these 3 topics, there will be a assignment on La Lima for that. There'll be a Flipgrid reflection, and at the end of the topic 3, there'll be an exam. There's a typo here. I'm noting the typo. It's corrected on La Lima. This would say 5 p.m. So 5 p.m. for each of those 3 days. And I will make sure that the corrected version is posted. Then we get to part 2 of this course. That would also be by 5 p.m. There's a typo here. And we'll be covering 3 more topics. GDP, basically, unemployment, and inflation. So homework assignment with each of them, Flipgrid reflection with each of them, and then an exam that covers those 3 topics. And then we get to part 3. And in part 3, we have a little bit more topics, but with those topics, we'll have, again, assignments linked to each of them, Flipgrid reflections with each of them, and then the 3rd exam will be comprehensive. So this is a pretty straightforward course. I've got the videos and everything that are supporting you learning the material, and hopefully, again, when I outline this here week by week, there's nothing exactly due the 11th week, week 11. I'm not sure it says week of 11, week 11. There's nothing due that week. So if you got big stuff going on in some other course, then totally hold off on topic 8 till later, or do it before. That's the flexibility. But if you finish your 2nd exam on October 23rd, and then you did nothing until December 5th, you will have missed all of part 3. And as a consequence, you will have failed this course. or you would be very difficult to barely pass. So work ahead as much as you possibly can as you go over the weeks. Know that sometimes you might not spend any time in this course, and some other times you might spend a lot of time in this course. Part of being an adult, or adult as adults say, part of being an adult is that you learn to manage your time. And you should be doing that here. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that really kind of applies to this course. Not really. And I guess the only other thing I would say is, don't be late with things. Um, it goes without saying that if things are late, that there's nothing, generally speaking, there's nothing that can be done. So don't put yourself in that position where you're turning in things late. Um, Reach out to me as you have questions, if you have concerns, and hopefully this syllabus kind of gives you a good understanding of how this course will be conducted.